الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
خلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم أما بعد فإن خير كلام الله جل وعلا وخير هدى هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم والشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we seek His help, we seek His assistance, and we seek refuge in Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, the Most High and the one that has all of the blessings in His hands. We seek His help and assistance from the evil within ourselves and the bad consequences of our deeds. Whomsoever Allah tabarak wa ta'ala He guides, none can lead him astray. Whoever Allah leaves to be left astray out of His knowledge, His wisdom, and His fairness, then none will be able to guide that one after Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. I bear witness that there is no deity that has the right to be worshipped other than Allah. He is alone and He has no partners. He is not like His creation in any way. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His last and final messenger. Today, inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala, we are in the month of Sha'ban. The month of Sha'ban. That blessed month that is before the month of Ramadan. And it is befitting to talk about some of the things related to the fasting, such as guarding the tongue and the body parts. Such as guarding the tongue and the body parts. As the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned the hadith that is authentic on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من لم يدع قول زور فإن ليس لله حاجة له أن يدع طعامه وشرابه. Al-Tabarak wa Ta'ala's Prophet gives us a very important lesson here. He said, من لم يدع. Lam here means someone is not doing something. Like Allah said, لم يلد ولم يولد. He does not have children, neither does he have parents. So here the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Man lam yadda'. Man here means whosoever. Doesn't make a difference if you're young. Doesn't make a difference if you're old. Doesn't make a difference if you're male, female, Arab, non-Arab, a doctor, a lawyer, a layman, a scholar. Whosoever does not leave qawl and zur. And qawl in the Arabic language, it means somebody's speech. This is the meaning of qawl. Your speech. You say that person, he has some foul qawl. And the qawl kufr. He has some speech that's not good. He has some speech that's against the religion. He has some speech of disbelief. You say that person do qawl and tayyib. That person has good speech. And do qawl and tayyib. Has a good speech. And to have qawl and tayyib, she has good speech. The Prophet said qawl and zur. And zur, the scholars, they mention of the past and the present. In the Arabic language, zur means something that's false. Something that is not true. Here, the Prophet said, Man lam yadda' qawl and zur. Whoever does not leave false speech, vanity, something of falsehood. You say, man, I'm just joking. But remember, you're fasting while you're joking with something that's false. Said, man, I'm just playing. But remember, you're playing while you're fasting with some speech that's false. فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ. Al-Tabarak wa Ta'ala in Surah Al-Ikhlas. He said, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. O Muhammad, say to them, Allah is in a class by Himself. Allah is in a category by Himself. يتكلم. ونحن نتكلم لكن كلام الله ليس مثلنا. Allah, He speaks, and He created humans to speak. But our speech and speaking is not like Allah's. He's in a class by Himself. His speech is unique. Yubasir. Naam. Allah, He sees, and He created us that we see. But Allah's seeing is not like our seeing. So this Allah, He's in a class by Himself, Al-Ahad. Then He said, As-Samad. And the meaning of As-Samad, this means someone is yani Ghaniyun ankum. He doesn't need you. And this is Allah. That's why He's As-Samad, denoting that He doesn't need us. Rather, we need Him. So if we go back to the statement of the Prophet, فَإِنَّ لَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ. This does not mean like we say haja. Allah has no need and we have no need. No. This doesn't mean if you don't do it, Allah will decrease in something. And if you don't do it, Allah, He will be burdened to harm. And it doesn't mean if you do it, it adds to Allah's dominion. It doesn't mean if you do it, it gives Allah more status or makes Him greater. The statement فَإِنَّ لَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ, this shows that Allah is not going to accept from you. He does not need you to just and يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَالشَّرَابِ, leave your food and drink. فَإِنَّ لَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ لَهُ. Lahu means the haja in the Arabic language goes back to the servant. Allah doesn't need for the servant to leave his food and drink alone. Has to leave false speech. وحديث آخر عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا كان صوم يوم أحدكم, if any one of you find himself fasting on a day, صوم يوم, I mean you're fasting on a day, مثل رمضان أو غيره, or outside of Ramadan, فَلَا يَرْفَثْ. He said, then do not do rafath. We will explain what is rafath. وَلَا يَسْخَبْ. And we will explain what the meaning of khasab. Prophet said, do not do these two things. That's the first part of the hadith. فَلَا رَفَثْ. فَلَا يَرْفَثْ. And the Quran, Allah said, وَلَا رَفَثَ. About the Hajj. Prophet said, وَلَا يَرْفَثْ. Here in fasting. And this in the Arabic language, many of the scholars have said, called fahish, foul speech again. The Muslim shouldn't be doing it aslan anyway. The norm of our deen, we should be free from that. وَنَسْأَلَ اللَّهَ يَهْدِينَا وَلَنَا جَمِيعًا. Ameen. May Allah guide us all. But it's more important in fasting. It's more emphasized in the month of fasting, or during the time or a day of fasting. His Prophet said, إِذَا كَانَ صَوْمَ يَوْمْ أَحَدُكُمْ. أَحَدُكُمْ is any one of you again. And this even goes for the young kid, the young child, who he's not at the age of puberty, but his parents teaching him to fast. مِنْ بَابِ تَرْتِيبٍ وَتَرَبِّحُ عَلَى خَيْرٍ. From the issue of showing someone the proper way about Islam and the way to raise them upon Islam, so they don't become 15 in puberty and now you spring fasting on them all of a sudden. He's going to be devastated. She becomes 12 in menses and she's a young lady. And this Islamically, they say, oh, she's just a kid. But our deen teaches once she has menstruation, sees that the beginning of her life as an adult, she's a young adult. She's fasting. But still, the rule here is before she becomes in puberty, the rule is the same. Teach them, فَلَا يَرْفَثْ. Because they're going to blow their fast when they become old if they're not trained like this. Prophet said, do not have foul speech. This is the meaning of لَا يَرْفَثْ. وَلَا يَسْخَبْ. And yasqab, that said, this means to fall into arguing and debating. Saqatu fi qusamat, people arguing, wasiyah, and yelling. How many times have we seen in Ramadan people are yelling and arguing? Allahu musta'an. Even in the masjid, min al-masajid, even in the house from the houses of Allah. So the Prophet gave us two things. The first one, what not to do. إِذَا الصَّوْمَ يَوْمْ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلَا يَرْفَثْ وَلَا يَسْخَطْ. Then that person, if he's fasting, if she's fasting, then let them not have foul speech. That's the first thing. Secondly, do not argue with somebody. Even he's a person, wallahu musta'an, he may seem to be nice, but in Ramadan he's arguing. He makes you mad. Prophet said, فَلَا يَسْخَطْ. Don't argue with him. And this word, it entails yelling as well. Sometimes you're not arguing, but you start yelling because you lose your cool. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His messenger, He said in the second part of the hadith, وَإِن صَبَّعْهُ أَحَدُكُمْ وَإِن صَبَّعْهُ أَحَدٌ. And if anyone insults him. So now the Prophet said, don't use foul speech. Then he said, and what's inclusive in arguing and yelling, then he said, and if someone insults him. وَالنَّبِيُّ صَلَّى قَالَ فِي مَتَّفَقَ عَلَيْهِ شَيْخَانِ. In the Bukhari and Muslim, he said, سِبَابَ الْمُسْلِمْ فُسُوقٍ وَفِي لَفْظٍ سَبَّ الْمُسْلِمْ فُسُوقٍ. This word sab, tell somebody you insult him. You ugly. For no reason, you just want to tell him you ugly. Well, that don't look nice on you. That's an insult. That's an insult. You say, man, I don't agree with you. You have the right to differ in a malleable way, respectfully. You don't tell him, man, you're stupid, man. How can you say that? This is an insult. Prophet said, فَإِن صَبَّعْهُ أَحَدٌ. And if anyone comes to the one that he told you already, don't use foul speech. And he told you already, don't argue and yell. If someone comes to you, showing you that someone can come to you with this. The first thing, you don't go to somebody and do it. The second, someone can come to you. Someone comes to you and he does that to you, insult you. He said, فَيَقُولْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ. Then say to him, I'm fasting. This hadith has a lot of beautiful benefits. The first one we learn, الأمر بالحفظ اللسان وماذا جراوح. My tongue sometimes, I'm not Arab, I know the words. And حفظ اللسان, نعم, to guard the tongue. نعم, جراوح. Jawarih. Barakallahu feekum. I know it, but this Allah. You guard your tongue and your body parts. That's the first thing you learn from this hadith. That you guard your tongue and your body parts. You also learn, barakallahu feekum, secondly, al-rafath, huwa kalam fahish. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما كان فاحش ولا متفاحش. He was a person who used foul speech, and he was not one who dealt with people in a foul way. And the second, rafath, to argue. When the Nabi Sallam called في حديث أخرجه الطبراني وغيره وهو حديث حسن قال الجماعة رحمة. نعم الجماعة رحمة. Being together. And of course, this is not just being together on any type of way. We have a millah. We have a way. We have a suluk. We have mannerisms. وعندنا عقائد صحيح. We have right principles. The Prophet ﷺ is including all of that when he said الجماعة رحمة. Being together, which is the opposite of arguing and fighting, he said it's a mercy. Then he said وَفِرْقْ عَذَابٍ. And dividing, arguing, fighting, it's a punishment. It's tough, it's difficult. So this is what you learn from this hadith as well. Not to argue and fight. وَلَا يَسْخَبْ. Don't argue. Don't fight. Find in yourself, to make a way, to make resolution. The second thing, barakallahu fikum. Naam, anna siyam huwa ibadatul imaniyya qalbiyya. This fasting is an issue of worship that's tied to the ikhlas of a person. the sincerity of a person. It's tied to his iman. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من صام رمضانا إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever fasts in Ramadan, and this is talking about with ولا يرفث ولا يسخر, with that which the Prophet added to fasting. Not just not eating and drinking. You're doing all of the things that's with fasting. So whoever fasts like this, believe in this obligation. Wallahi, some people, they fast, they say, I don't believe it's an obligation, but it's family time, I like it. SubhanAllah. Some people, they don't believe it's an obligation. They say, but you know, I lose a lot of weight, it's a good time of the year. Have to believe it's an obligation. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to fast for your own benefit. Ibadat al-imaniyya qalbiyya wa tarabiyya. And it's something to develop you. Something to develop you. Also, we learn from this hadith, huwa amr ala al-ibad al-jami' ma'muran bi hifd ala ta'a, that you have been commanded, all of us, to be upon obedience. Wa tarikun li ma'siyah, and to leave off the disobedience. Now, the other thing of Tabarak wa Ta'ala knows best from this, you learn ta'aleem, wuquf, and the hudud al-shara', that it shows you to stop where the legislation teaches you to stop. Not to go and react to somebody's ignorance or his lowliness. La. And this is why Prophet said to say, inni sa'imun. There's two things about this, and then we'll end the first part of the khutbah. The scholars, they mention that it is permissible. I'lan, ta'a. You choose i'lan ta'a. It's permissible to tell somebody you're doing a good deed. Because, the way of the Prophet is not to show off. But also, sometimes if there's a muslaha, if a jalaba muslaha, forget Jews, it brings about some goodness, then you can do it. Like in this case, someone's arguing with you. He's out of himself. And he understands this, but he needs to remind. Say, Akhi, listen, I'm fasting. He might say, khalas malish. So it's a benefit for you to tell him you're fasting. And this is not talking about Ramadan, meaning the scholars say, because everybody's commanded to fast in Ramadan. Some of them say this is talking about outside of Ramadan, because no one knows if you're fasting Mondays and Thursdays and so forth. Others say, yushmal jami' min as-sawm. This includes every type of fasting. And in one narration, the Prophet said, فَيَقُولْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ صَائِمٌ. Say it twice. And some of them said, why do you say it twice? One of them said, it is the first one for yourself. Like you say, I had to talk to myself because I was really going, he really took me there. So you remind yourself out loud, إِنِّي صَائِمٌ, so you don't react. And the second one, you reminded him, as a Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, وَذَكِّرْ فِعْنَ ذِكْرَى تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and remind them, because the reminder benefits the believer. نسأل الله تبارك وتعالى لنا توفيق وهداية منه سبحانه وتعالى. We ask Allah to give us success and guidance. ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يتقبل منا أعمالنا إنه جواد كريم. And we ask Allah to accept from us our good deeds. Verily, He's the most generous and the one who is kind. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وبعد. Wallahi, there's a lot we can say about the fasting. It will take like a dawrah after every salah. Chapter. And we still will be just putting, like they say, a drop in the bucket. Volumes have been written on this issue of fasting. Literally volumes that you can read day and night about this issue. And we should remember, huwa min arkan Islam, is from the 5 pillars of Islam. And it is that which Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala mentioned, Yuridullah bikumul yusr وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. That Allah only wants for you out of this whole issue ease. Sometimes when it's hot and it's difficult, you might feel different. But say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Because Allah, He knows that this might be the only chance for someone to become close to Him, Jalla wa Ula. This might be the only time that someone is he's going to make a real strive towards making tawbah and reading Quran and praying. So don't make fun, as the people say, she's a Ramadan Muslim, he's a Ramadan Muslim, or they only come out in Ramadan. Here they come. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants ease for all of us. Maybe this is their only ease. And if Allah has blessed you not to be one who gets fired up only in Ramadan, one who comes out only in Ramadan, then don't think that this is from you. La wallah. Kalla. This is from Allah wa ta'ala that He favored you with that ni'mah. And we still don't know if it's accepted from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, accepted from us. We don't know if it's accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal. We don't know. And that's the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned also about the praying. Man qama Ramadanan, imanan wa ihtisaban. Because just as in the fasting hadith, the same wording, he mentioned imanan. Have to believe that it's an obligation, it's something from the deen. Not that I grew up like this in my country. Because many things in their country, in your country, and the countries from abroad is not right. Has to be ala jamb al-dalil. استخرج من كتاب الله وسنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يعني ماذا نعم. This is true. Has to be from the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. There are a lot of things that have crept in. And wahdisaban, you want the reward only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet ﷺ came with the religion, just as all of the prophets and messengers came before. As the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, Al-Anbiya, Ikhwatul La'at. Now, there are brothers from different mothers. Ummahatuhum Madam, Ummahatuhum Naam. Their mothers, are not the same. They're not the same, but they're brothers, in the religion. Because they have the same deen. وَدِينَهُمْ وَمِلَّتُهُمْ وَاحِدٌ. Their way is one. So just as the Prophet ﷺ came with this message like this, وَأُمَّهَاتُهُمْ شَتَّى, and their mothers are from different backgrounds. They have the same mother. I could say, my brother from another mother. Prophets are like that. But the Prophet mentioned their brothers from the religious aspect. So just as Prophet ﷺ mentioned iman wa ihtisaban, all of the deeds are related like that. So he mentioned about the standing in Ramadan, the same thing. Have to believe in it, that it's from the deen. Allah ordered you. Whether it's an order that you have to do or a strong recommendation, you have to believe that. And the second thing, you have to do it seeking the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if people come into the masjid in the days of Ramadan, and they don't normally come, be patient with them. Because they may fall under these two categories. They're doing it because they believe that it's from the deen. And they want the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And lastly, it's been attributed to the Prophet ﷺ those things that everyone has attributed to their prophets. People have attributed to their prophets lies. In order that what they say, people may believe. If I make something up and I say the Prophet said it, 9 out of 10 somebody's going to take it just because I said the Prophet said it. So people have done that. People also did that to infiltrate and pollute the religion. As they say, Yasudduna Samum fil Asl. They put the poison in the honey. If they stir it up, give you a taste, say, this is good. But there's poison in it. Wallah musta'an. From amongst the poison, the hadith, as we close, we talk about working in Sha'ban, getting ready for Ramadan. Then there's a hadith that's attributed to the Prophet. All of the ulama of hadith, they agree this hadith is wada'i. What is wada'i? Wada'i means someone made it. Someone fabricated it. And that is, إذا كان إذا جاء نصف شعبان. نعم. إذا جاء نصف شعبان فقوموا ليلها وصوموا نهارها. When the 15th of Sha'ban comes, 15, halfway mark, then they said, the Prophet said, then you pray in that night. And like we pray in Ramadan. You get special ajr praying that night. And on that 15th day you fast. All the scholars of hadith, they agreed this hadith is makdhoob ala nabi. A'udhu billah. It's fabricated. Why would somebody do this to the Prophet? Someone would ask. Because he wants to encourage people to do something, perhaps, to get ready for Ramadan. And there's some hadith about the virtue of Sha'ban. Sha'ban has a lot of virtue. A lot of history. But this is not one of them, the 15th, that you fast or you pray. Allah musta'an. And we could talk about this a lot, but we want to mention that it's important. The point to know that people should be getting ready. Don't wait till 2 days before Ramadan. We're already late. As they say, we missed the bus. Sha'ban is late. كان سلفنا الصالح يستعد لرمضان 6 أشهر قبل أن يجي. Our righteous predecessors, meaning the Prophet, Sahaba, the second generation, Tabi'een, third generation, Ittiba' Tabi'een, and this is the apex of our religion. There's no religion without these people. They were preparing 6 months ahead of time. Can you imagine? 6 months before you're going to endeavor upon something, you're getting ready. It shows the importance of meeting Ramadan and getting the best out of it. This shows that they really understood that Ramadan, Allah musta'an, is not like the other months when it comes to fasting and doing the good deeds. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given others, such as the Hijjah, the Hajj month, and this is Sha'ban and others. But Ramadan, remember, the Quran came down in it. And that's what makes it ala itlaq, afdalu shahru fil am, the best month in the year annually, because the Quran came down in that month. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to see that month upon goodness and iman and strength in order to worship Him. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا فَإِن لَّمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ اللهم نسألك زدنا إيمان كاملا اللهم نسألك وفقنا بما تحب وترضى وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the good of this life and the good of the hereafter, to make us upon that which He loves and that which